Hello and welcome back to Games Under $5, the series where we find budget games worth your time. Today we're checking out My Dream Setup, a relaxing room designer game that lets you build the perfect aesthetic workspace. Normally priced at $5.99, but it is on sale for just $2.99 until April 21st, 2025. But with that, guys, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look now. Alright guys, welcome to My Dream Setup. We're going to start with this empty room here. I'm thinking we're going to go for something that's a bit more in the modern style that I kind of like. I know there's all kinds of different styles on the left here that you can choose from. Quite a few different furnitures. There's tables, there's bookshelves and shelving units, there's computers and TVs, and even down to like the keyboards and mice, your actual peripherals themselves here. I am not covering any of the DLC stuff like that. That includes the pets, although I would absolutely love to put my cat into this game, and that is something that I would probably pay for. I'm not gonna lie. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm thinking for the bed here that we'll probably go with something along this line here. I actually quite enjoy this type of bed, so I know I can we'll close this back down here. You can press Q and E to turn the walls. There we go, so we can see. So we'll move this bed into the corner here. There we go. That way it looks like that. So a bed's in the corner here. This is a 5x5 room. You can actually change the shape of the room entirely by drawing new lines, and you can erase them pretty easily. So in case you're making your own room, you're welcome to do that. It starts off as a 3x3, but I felt that the 3x3 was a little small to start. So all right, I have settled on this gray desk here. Again, kind of keeping with the gray, black, and white theme of the room so far. I went with this L-shaped desk. There are quite a few desks. I'm beginning to realize how maybe picky I am about the desks that I personally want. Like something like this would be not awful, but I felt like it wasn't big enough for me. I didn't hate this one. I just dislike how small it is. Because I would love to put this in a corner, but I just don't feel like it's quite large enough. And then of course we get down to these other types of desks, but these are more office types of desk and less gaming center done. So I ended up settling on this one. The next will be the computer setup here. Okay, I've got the core parts of the desk set up, I think. I'm gonna explain everything here before we get into the details. So I was thinking if I have a desk, obviously primarily the monitors, obviously gotta put the camera for some YouTube and streaming, of course. I normally would actually do like a full-size desk mat, but that doesn't seem to be an option, so we went with a pretty sized, the biggest one that they had, which kind of fits on the desk pretty well. Put our little mouse, of course, and keyboard, and I usually have my phone to the side actually here, so we'll put that there. We added lights at the bottom down here so that way I could see the wiring, and this one does go all the way across for the most part, kind of to both sides. I tried to even them up in the center of the desk as well as I could. Same with one underneath here. I do think that I thought about putting one over here, but I felt like this would be just enough. I am thinking about adding one, like a strip on the corner here, just to kind of keep that edge lit up. But the purpose of the shelves, I'm sure some of you are like, why the hell would you put a shelf there? I do need to change the color of this, so let's actually change the color of that to, wish I could match, the color of this. I guess this is just straight black, huh? Actually, let's keep that, and we'll do this one needs to be straight black like that, right? Yeah, that's about the same color there. So now my thought process here is this shelving unit would be used for either quick access items, game controllers, or even some knickknacks here and there. Same thing with this actually would be my drink and food shelf. So I don't know about you guys. I live in like a 500 square foot apartment. It's not very big. The rent is far more than it should be for this, but with that being the case, I don't really have like tables and stuff in my apartment. So I tend to eat at my desk since I work from home and everything like that as of right now. Which means I spend a lot of time at my desk. So I actually don't like food at my desk or near my desk for the most part. And I thought that this actually would be a neat way to kind of be like, just like a little storage shelving area to kind of keep the desk itself clean by putting like a drink here or food here. So I know there's some drinks and foods here, so we'll go through that and I'll explain what I mean here in a minute. But this is the core part of the desk complete. So now I'm going to go through, add some details, and we'll come back to it in just a second. All right, so here's what we've got for the desk, the details aside. So I know I'm sure a few of you were like, what do you mean food at the desk? You are crazy. So like if I go make some dinner or whatever and I want to watch some Netflix or anime, of course, on the screen, food to the side here. I usually have a drink just because starch actually closes my esophagus up. I'm allergic to it technically. So with that, you know, of course, gotta have the French fries because I do love me some French fries. But that also means I need drinks, and then of course my little treats, my little sweets. I wouldn't have a cookie jar there, but there's not really like a small bowl that I could put like of jelly beans or lemon drops or something like that there. So I of course got me those little sand pits and stuff like that. They do have a few of these, but I like this one the most because I was looking for just like a bonsai tree to put here, but they didn't have like just a bonsai tree, or at least that I could find. So I put that up there. A little picture frame. Picture of the family or my girlfriend there probably, and then some speakers. Of course, I want to play music in the apartment. I can face those outwards. I just moved them inwards just to add a little design to it. And then of course my headphones and stuff like that. Of course for the computer they don't have them, but I use IEMs instead, so this would be my old pair of headphones more than likely. Added the little ghost for my girlfriend, of course, because she loves Halloween decorations, so add a little Halloween decoration for her. I do actually own a Sega Genesis, so I was like, you know what, close enough, we'll put it in there. I don't own a what are these called, a Nintendo Switch. There we go. I couldn't think of the word. So I don't own one, but my girlfriend does. And so I put that up there just, again, as a little bit of a representation here. So got my Xbox controllers and PlayStation controllers. I used to have an Xbox and a PlayStation. I don't anymore. Then, of course, my participation trophy for making it through life so far and a little candle. So if I had some artwork, I would put my artwork there, of course. I've got my little thing that makes the room smell good, or at least the desk area smell good. I do love these, by the way. These are fantastic. Then, of course, I did find a microphone. They actually had a microphone, so I put a microphone here. Pretty similar to actually how mine is. Mine actually connects to the edge of my desk and comes over. It's a boom arm that comes up and down, but I would like to get one of these. I think they're a little bit better. Pens and pencils, of course, if I ever need to write some things down. Not that I probably would just use Notepad on the computer, but again, aesthetics. And then this little shelf over here. I'm sure some people were like, why would you put that shelf there? Again, small little knickknack. So a little penguin. Who doesn't like penguins? I actually would love a lava lamp. Oh, I used to love lava lamps. So I don't know what the hell that is, but I put it there because I like it. A Rubik's Cube, not that I'm ever good at those, but I do like them. And then this one actually was a reference to a viewer that I have for streaming, Demon. He likes to chill. He said he likes to collect cars, so I saw that and it made me think of him. So a little call out there for him as well. And then of course the computer, we redid the computer a little bit for the color schemes. We got the wooden slits in the front here. Love those style of boxes, but they are so expensive. But then again, I don't have to worry about money here, so there we go. So that is our desk area. As far as I can tell, I think that's about all I can really do with the base stuff. So I'm thinking next now we're going to work on the bedroom area and all that kind of stuff. So let's hop right on to that, starting with more than likely, I'm thinking some desks or dressers over here to put the TV on, because I have mine on a dresser that looks, honestly, probably somewhat similar to this, but more squared box set. Kind of like this, actually. This is kind of what mine looks like, but it's a bit more squished down. But with that, I will hop back over in a few here. So my initial thought process here is more than likely going with the small dresser size. We just shrunk it down a little bit here. I know the bed's in the corner, so I'm actually going to do is, I think I'm going to move the bed over ever so slightly here. I actually don't mind my bed being in the corner, but it does make this a little harder because I put the desk facing this way, which means this half of the room needs to be bedroom. But there is storage on this side. So what I'm thinking is we can do a little bit of shifting on all things here. Boom, perfect. And then we can do a nightstand on both sides, something like this. This is actually kind of what my current setup is like. We'll move that over just a slight bit. Okay, so we've got both dressers set up. I'm actually thinking what I will do is shrink them ever so slightly. Oop, not the Y size, but probably the X size. Then we will add some lights here. I actually like this modern style of light over a lamp. I do have an old style lamp actually in my room currently, but I like this modern style, more modern style, I should say, of lamp. So I'm actually going to do this. Great. Okay, so The way this is going to work is I made my side over here. This is my left side. I really don't do much. Usually when I go to bed, I either doom scroll a little bit and then charge my phone, or I am watching TV. So if anything, it's going to be a little bit more like this, if anything. Just that way it's easier for me to reach the light. The alarm clock would even be probably a slightly turned, not quite this far, but I do actually like my things pretty straightened away. I'm not even gonna lie, when I put my phone on my desk, I almost put it like directly straight with the desk, so it'd actually be like that, but I'll leave it like this for now, which is why that light actually would probably be straight. If I'm 100% honest with you, my light probably would be straight so that it fits on my desk, something like that altogether. And of course, like I said, I love these things. They make the rooms smell so good. So on my girlfriend's side, she's also very, very simple. Probably a nice light, easy to read, like a reading light. This is more of just light. This is a bit more of a reading light, I think, in a book. And she does love to read her books over there. So that one's quite nice. And then we both actually have the very same aesthetic. We both like dark colors, and she's a bit more homey and cozy. I'm a bit more modern and simplistic, so it works well together. So now we'll get started on the TV area here. The shoes are completed. Gave myself my nice, my white sneakers that I probably would wear. They're a little difficult to get the aspects right, I'll be honest with you. Not a big deal though. And then I gave her, of course, her nice black combat boots that she would probably wear. So put those in the corner there. So that is that area done. The TV is mostly done here. I actually do have a little bit of soundproofing behind my TV. I feel that the sound absorption helps keep it from bouncing off the wall and making it sound echoey on my TV. It makes it sound a little bit more clear since it's projecting forward and absorbing the back sound. And then, of course, a PlayStation and an Xbox with our router all together here. I would put a stack of movies, but I actually couldn't find, like, a stack of movies to put down in here. Maybe that's something that they could look at adding here. But more than likely, we'd actually have, like, a stack of movies probably, like, on top of the PlayStation or in front of it here, something like that, of just things to watch all together. So that is a little bit towards the room. More than likely, if we had this hard of a room, I probably would put like a carpet down, and it would probably look something along the lines of like this. Maybe is probably about what I'd like to do. Just a little bit out of the way. I would even shorten it a little more here to be a little bit more in line, but I would want this little area around the bed to have a carpet if it was hardwood floors, which I actually think we can technically change. Oh yeah, here we go. So we could actually change the floors to like full carpet. I won't do that because I actually like hardwood floors, and so does my girlfriend. So overall here, this is where we would land. So I'm gonna put up a little bit more in terms of shelving and some art posters and stuff like that kind of stuff, and then we'll come back when those details are done as well. So I can say for art posters, funny enough, again, my girlfriend and I actually have very similar tastes, so we probably would want the swords over the bed. If we didn't do swords over the bed, we'd probably do some kind of cool artwork over the bed, which is actually more realistic, so it'd probably be more like this. And then we would probably do something along the lines. I think that feels about right of how we would do our room. I think this turned in from my dream setup room to like my reality room, weirdly enough. Now that I'm doing this, I'm like, hold on a minute, this isn't like my dream setup room. This is now turning into when I move in together, I think this is what we would style it like all together. I think the next one, if people want to see more, if anybody wants to see more of this, I think maybe the next time I might do like a couple's streaming room, gaming room together, because I know we've talked about doing that together. So but I think that is going to be it for this in here. And I love the fact that we can change it. Okay. I love a nice rainy day. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So this is perfect right here. The atmosphere, everything. Everything perfect right here. This is it. This would be such an ideal, cozy little room for me. Personally, this is how I would do it. I love the modern style, the black, white, and gray kind of style that the room comes with. It's got a little bit of personality in regards to my stuff being put together, but my area is clean. This is very much ADHD brain, by the way. If you were unaware or couldn't tell, very much ADHD brain. Everything's packed away in a corner somewhere, and everything else is relatively clean. Like, it's piled up where it needs to be. So, but yes. If you made it this far, guys, I really appreciate you watching. And if there's any games under $5 that you think I should check out, please drop it in the comments. I'm always in the hunt for the new hidden gems to show to people for games under $5 that are not breaking the bank account, especially during the economic times that we are in right now. So, and I'd be happy to feature you guys' picks. But with that, guys, if you enjoyed the video and you like that, please don't forget to leave a like down below. It really helps me out quite a bit. And if you're interested in seeing more, feel free to subscribe and follow along. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.